Marshall's taking a lot of shots.
Spanning the island to bring you the constant variety of sports, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat, the human drama of athletic competition. This is Voice of Vashon's Live Sports.
Good evening, Voice of Vashon listeners, and the time has come. 2026 state soccer is upon us at Pirate Stadium. The Vashon Island Pirates play host to the Tonasket Tigers. Thank you for being with us on KVSH LP 101.9 FM, Voice of Vashon, voiceofvashon.org. Thank you, Garrett Dorr, back in the studio, making everything happen. Thank you to Vashon Thriftway for underwriting all things Vashon sports. Oscar Lopez, Jamie Lopez, Tony Crudo, and Dan Schuler in the booth for this one. Dan may or may not make an appearance on the mic. We'll see. At the minute, he's just acting photographer. So we already have results coming in from around the grounds. I think what we should start with is the one that affects us closest. Before this match at Pirate Stadium, Royal beat Elma by a score of 2-1, meaning they move on to the quarterfinals, and the winner of this game between Vashon and Tonasket, the winner of that game, will play Royal here tomorrow at 4 p.m. Royal, I thought, had some good players. That number 5, Anderson Brown, we know he plays for Crossfire ECNL. We know he's committed to the University of Washington. He's a good player. They had their center back, number 16. Actually, I have a Royal roster right here. Number 16 is Brian Miron. I remember he did a very good job against Mason Haynes in our first game of the season, which was against Royal, but he went down in the first half with an injury and did not come back.
Didn't look back. It didn't look good. It was one of those injuries where he went down, kind of looked like a foot cramp, walked off the field, came back on, went down again.
And we all watched the entirety of that game, so I'm going to start, Jamie, with you. What are your takeaways, I guess, because Elma are out, we don't really need to talk about them, but what are your takeaways about Royal from that match?
Well, they have, they held their frame pretty well. They've got a couple skilled players, as you say. Number 5 was particularly good. Didn't seem like a very potent attack. Didn't seem like they could finish. They played a real vertical game. Knock a lot of wood, because I'm a glass half full.
Oh, Marshall.
What happened?
Marshall Wade looks like he's just injured his wrist while warming up. Our keeper, no one seems to care, so maybe he's fine.
Huh.
No, he's fine. Okay.
He's fine. Yeah. All right. Well, just to land the plane, knock wood here. I didn't see anything that has me particularly frightened. Not looking past this team. I don't know the team we're facing today, but based on what I saw on the field, I think Vashon should compete and probably beat Royal tomorrow. Should we advance?
Tony, anything to add?
It was a ragtag game. It looked like two teams that traveled 5 hours on a yellow school bus onto an island and played on a field that they'd never seen before. It was ugly soccer. I'm sorry. Either team could have won it. I thought Royal was the better team, but better is probably not a great word to use for what we saw. Hopefully it'll be better tomorrow for them, because if not, it's going to be a bad game.
So, other matches, the biggest news of the day, the one seed are out. Cascade Leavenworth lost to Walook in the first match of the day, and not just lost, they got thrashed. The final score of that game was 4-0. The one seed is out for the first time in the WIAA 1A state tournament since Quincy lost to Connell in 2023. That I think people were expecting, obviously due to the seed, but just due to what we've seen from teams that we have played and Cascade Leavenworth on the film, people expected us to play them in the final.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
well, it just goes to show you anything can happen, which is why I hope we're not looking past these guys. I mean, I'm a glass half empty guy. I'm always worried, but what happens? 30 seconds in, we make a mistake, they get a penalty, they park the bus, and suddenly we're out.
I don't know. We saw Walook play Montesano. They played the pregame that we had against Royal earlier in the year.
Yeah.
So we know them
right at the beginning.
I will say the same thing I said probably 3 or 4 times this year. These Eastern Washington teams, you can just take their jerseys off and change jerseys. It's the same team over and over. The difference is one team has a good goalkeeper, one team has a great finisher up top, big kid who scores goals. That's the difference. The rest of it is just kind of this weird street soccer game that they play.
But what does that mean in terms of the Pirates' fate? I mean, it can be an effective style.
Against each other, yeah. But I think we're a little bit more advanced than that. We play a game that looks a little bit more predictable. When you're watching the game that we play, a fan doesn't have a hard time understanding what's going on. You can see it happening. When you watch the game we just watched, we never knew what was going to happen.
Well, that's true, but how is the Eastern Washington game that you described different than, say, a version of the Cascade Christian game?
Okay, this is my experience playing Eastern Washington teams. They're not playing for high-level clubs who train with routines and tactics from the time they're 8 years old. They're playing a lot of street soccer, and then somebody gives them a jersey on their high school team, and they start playing.
Well, we've fallen prey to that. We've seen plenty of Pirate teams with their Washington Premier pedigree come in here only to have a Latin kid say, don't bring that over here, I'll lay you out.
Yeah,
and
but
we lose those games.
We haven't lost a lot of those games. We beat Quincy, we beat Casimir, we beat all the teams we played against because we're a pretty good team.
Not Royal.
Well, when did we play Royal?
We got knocked out by Royal in the 2024 state tournament, and then we lost to Cascade Leavenworth in the third place game in the 2024 state tournament.
Yeah, but this is the same team with a freshman. Now we're seniors. We have 14 seniors.
Yeah.
2 years makes a...
I think that applies to this team, but I think the point that Jamie's making is not so much about the players that we see in green in front of us, just the concept of Western Washington club soccer versus Eastern Washington street ball.
Yes, that's it. That's what I want to say. That's what you're seeing. Sure, it's possible street ball, but it's like, if you're playing college basketball, Duke is a tough team. It's going to be tough to take a bunch of guys who played on the New York street scene and play against Duke. Doesn't mean they can't shoot, but they know what they're doing. They're organized. We are very organized.
Well, all right, let me ask you this then.
Okay.
Can we beat ourselves? Are we mentally ready, or can the pressure of the moment break us down, and can we beat ourselves here?
I think ourselves are Overlake. I think ourselves are University Prep. I think ourselves are Bainbridge. In other words, teams that play like us, we've played them already. Mm-hmm. I think we can handle those teams. I think we can handle the Eastern Washington teams. I don't think they have enough to go against us. I think we're going to play slower but faster, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, it does.
It'll look slower, but we'll be past them before they know what's going on.
There's a maturity in this team that we haven't seen in a Pirate team in a long time, since the likes of Finley Oswald and J.J. Bogard were the leaders and we won state that year. But there is a maturity in this team. We can adapt to whatever situation an opponent presents, but that's not to say that the opponent dictates the game. We can just we see what the opponents are like, and then we play in the most efficient way to beat that opponent. So we're dictating the game, but we just have different ways of dictating it. Where in the past, it's been, if plan A isn't working, just do plan A better. And it's, all we have is just pass.
I think we talked about this when we played Royal in their first game. The reason, I thought Royal looked better when we played them, and we're a much better team than the team they just played. And the reason was we had the ball all the time, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They didn't hardly ever have the ball. They were just defending, clearing, defending, fighting, clearing, defending. We were the ones doing everything, and it worked out pretty good for them, but you couldn't watch that game and say they were equal as a team that we were.
Well, what about this? Is there anything to collective energy and the impact it has on a team? Because I would argue that the energy from the Vashon faithful, from the fan base, is fragile. I'm going to say it's decidedly fragile. It's a 3 out of 10. Can the players feel that?
Are you talking about yourself?
Well, definitely me. I'm always worried, but I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Look at these people in their hats. There's a nervousness that's palpable.
He's talking about the fans sitting in the seats below us.
And by the way, why have we not noted that Anders Blomgren is Vashon's Flavor Flav? He's got a retro Gary Payton jersey and a hot dog on a stick hat at the fence line. What is happening down there?
I need to know what it's like to be on Vashon. We're giving them the whole...
That's fantastic. The whole experience, yeah.
Wow.
Crowd seems good.
Yeah.
Haven't seen any alums yet, or any recent alums. People may know we've got a couple alums, obviously. We got 2 on the coaching staff, but no heroes from state winners gone by.
I'd feel safer if we saw Nick Keenan up on the fence line. Anybody see him?
I saw Keenan.
He's here?
He's here somewhere. We'll hear him.
Okay, we might.
I'm looking at our warm-ups here. It's quite a wide possession game we're playing. I haven't seen us do this warm-up before.
Well, like I said, I think what you're going to see is they're playing street ball, and we're playing a game that involves structure, organization, and awareness of each other. And I think that this is what we want to do today, and I think we can do it.
They've been, they being Tonasket, have been doing shooting warm-ups for the past 15 minutes. Is that because they're thinking, well, we're going to get minimal chances, so we better take those chances when they come?
No, I think they're just doing the warm-up they have always done.
Okay.
Because when they came out, they did 2 laps around their half field, which is very kind of old school. You don't see that anymore.
Sure.
As a group, they just marched around the field like they were in a military parade. And then they did some organized yoga-style stretching, and now they're doing a shooting drill. They did a little keep-away game that was way too tight for what they were going to need to do.
Well, this will make some people happy. We talked about this before we got into the broadcast. 2 of the best names I've ever seen while announcing high school soccer are on the Tonasket Tigers. The first one is number 10, who is starting. Alex Alvarez Alvarado.
Sweet.
Is wearing number 10 for he's a junior. And then number 6, Strong Rider Williams.
Come on. Strong Rider Williams?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's good. That's good for sure on now. Now on
like Derek Broadchest. Strong Rider Williams. What number is Strong Rider Williams?
He's 6. He's not starting.
Can we please commit to saying all 3 of their names anytime they touch the ball? Strong Rider Williams.
No, I can't just say no. Strong Rider Williams, especially if he's not starting, he's getting the full name treatment. He's the Thiago Silva of Tonasket.
Yeah. They have quite a few seniors on their team, by the way. They're a bigger team.
They're an old team for sure. Out of their starters, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 11 of their starters are seniors.
Yeah. Well, their goalkeeper looks really good. I think he's going to get a lot of action today.
Oh, that's for sure.
So I kind of look at the other team's goalkeepers to see how they're handling the shots, and he seems pretty good. But I think we're going to be pretty close when we shoot now. I don't think we're going to be shooting.
Has anyone assessed the crowd? Do they have? Did they bring in some fans of their own?
If they are, they're getting outnumbered. Yeah. Obviously, it's a home game. It's a nice day. And again, if you're on Vashon and you're listening, please don't waste your time listening to us ramble. It's beautiful out here. Come down to Pirate Stadium. Great crowd, great vibes. Vashon in the round of 16 in the 2026 state tournament as the players are lining up, preparing for the walkout. We once again say thank you for being with us on KVSH LP 101.9 FM, Voice of Vashon, or voiceofvashon.org. Thank you, Garrett Dorr, back in the studio. Thank you, Vashon Thriftway, for underwriting all things Vashon Sports. Again, a look ahead. The winner of this match will face Royal here at Pirate Stadium tomorrow, the 23rd of May at 4 p.m. After that, the winner will advance to the state semifinals, which will happen a week from today, Friday, at Federal Way Memorial Stadium, and then the final is a week from tomorrow, also in Federal Way.
What does a team like Royal do after this? They take they take the ferry off and go to SeaTac and go hang out at the Hampton Inn for an overnight?
Sure, probably. Yeah. I mean, they don't want to go back.
What do they do, like a Denny's meal? What are they looking at?
Well, I can tell you, our school, I don't know what they do at Vashon, each kid used to get $15 per diem.
Back then, so that's like a $50 per diem now.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you weren't coaching that long ago.
1954? When 1954.
No, it was $15. Every kid got $15, and we went to, some place. So they got to do that. And if they took a nice bus, as opposed to the rickety yellow school bus, which is tough ride, by the way.
Yeah, it's a hard ride.
It's okay for 30 minutes on the island here, but go take that, for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours to Spokane. It's not much fun.
That's a big advantage for Vashon, though, being able to just play this, go home.
And get a good night's sleep.
Absolutely.
Get a good night's sleep. That's going to be huge. And these players are getting a good night's sleep. These are not the type to say, I'll be fine tomorrow. They are counting the calories. They know what they're putting in their body. They are getting 8 hours of sleep. It's 90% of these guys are doing that. And I don't think that's true for a lot of teams.
There are a lot of advantages to being a top-seeded team. Home field, it should not be overlooked. I mean, it's awesome to be in your own bed. It's really hard when you're a high school kid to sleep in a hotel.
Not to mention, it takes a solid 20 minutes of game time to figure out how high the ball bounces out here.
Oh, yeah.
When you're playing on a basketball court.
And when you're on your home field, you're extra motivated to put on a show for your fans. Like, you don't want to let the fans down. Like, that's what, you hear people talking in professional sports, you let the fans down. You're letting the fans down. Like, that's a real thing. And even when it's high school, people feel that.
Yeah.
They don't want to let their parents down. They don't want to let their weird uncle down who flew in from Boise. Like, there's a pressure, but it's the type of pressure that these players will thrive on.
Yeah, I don't. It's funny. I was sitting next to a lot of the players in the stands before the game. They don't look nervous at all. They are very matter of fact. I think they're mentally very prepared for this. There's no jitters. There's no, this could be our last game. There's none of that.
No, these guys are coming into this game knowing that they're going to win.
I think so.
There's no feeling as though they are going to lose this game. There's no, they won't. Like, knock on wood, commentators curse, all that.
Yeah.
But this team is not only good, like we're well coached, we've got talented players. We're mentally so much stronger than we were a year ago.
Yeah.
We could go down by 2 goals in this game and still come back to win.
Yeah.
That just is not true and would not be true.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Well, we have structure. We have belief. I was reading the article in the paper. It was very interesting about.
I saw that. Yeah.
We had a psychologist-type coach work with the kids.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Very smart with this group of kids, because high school boys can be temperamental, kind of unreliable sometimes. That doesn't look like us at all this year.
Well, JT is nothing if not highly organized around all of those sorts of, programs that you could take advantage of. And
Yeah.
I think you've used last season as largely a mental rather than sort of a letdown of another kind.
I agree 100%. I think that was the players were more than capable of going farther than they did.
Yeah.
That psychologically they were not prepared for what they were going to be facing. And they weren't facing a great team, but when the pressure came up, they just kept choking.
Yeah.
And it's not their fault. They just weren't ready.
Looking across at the Pirate bench, we have our full complement of the coaching staff: Paul Bear, Richard Rivas, John Thomas, Jamie O'Neill, Dara Kennan, and Charlie Caldwell. Missing, as per usual, Chris Cachapalia, who I'm sure is sitting in the stands complaining about the other coaches, as he does.
Check out that Pirate coaching vibe. It's as if they're a bumper shoot preparing to watch fish.
Yeah,
Look at them.
No, they're not pacing like the Tonasket coaches. They're just all.
We do have more coaches than anybody I've ever seen.
Yeah.
A football staff out
It
there.
is. Yeah. Well, we have, let's see, there's our head coach, our assistant coach, our JV coach, a consultant coach, and 2 goalkeeper coaches on the bench.
Well, some of them are parents. I think we have a couple parents.
One parent. Dara Kennan is Finn Kennan's dad. Okay. But that's the only parent.
That's good. Well, everybody wants to be around a winning team that's successful.
I forgot about this. The bad news coming into this is that Felix Kopmageter is confirmed out for the season. He will not be playing in the state tournament.
Was that the hip flexor that he got?
Was it a hip flexor?
Yeah.
I think it was a hip flexor. Yeah, yeah, he's done. And that's interesting because the question then becomes, do you start Isaac Newcomb or Yvonne and Shrestha at fullback? I think Isaac Newcomb is the better player. Like, there's not really any debate there, but then sometimes you're thinking, well, do we want to move him out of winger in the big games, of course?
Well, and it's a tough call because I think Shrestha has done a great job back there. But, again, we haven't been challenged with speed, so we're going to have to see.
Isaac Newcomb certainly is more athletic.
Yes.
Not Shrestha's no slouch,
No.
but Newcomb's a year older. He's stronger. And he's a captain for a reason. He's quite a good player. I personally would go with Newcomb. I think
so.
Because, and part of the reason, the second half of the season, Ryland Knott and August Kampmeyer have both been very good. And they're good options in the front line alongside Mason Haynes, Lewis Thompson, and Ivana Shrestha.
Yeah.
So we can afford to bring back a strong winger in the fullback, and he can defend fine and then progress the ball quite well.
I think these big, strong guys, Gavin Keenan, Lewis, I think that they're going to really step into their own. They're going to be our tentpole players that we count on and rely on.
Well, looking ahead, if we are to beat Tonasket, the biggest challenge for Vashon against Royal is going to be number 5 Anderson Brown. Clearly their best player. He's an excellent player. I'd say just stick Lewis at the 10 and have him battle with Brown the whole time. Because even if he doesn't win that, right, because we're better across the field, man marking works well for us because we're taking one of our players out of the game, but we're also taking one of their players out of the game, and if it's one of their really good players, that takes away one of their talismans while we're just losing one of our players.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we drove that player back into the center of defense.
You got it. Sorry, we're laughing because the national anthem went out because we've got it hooked up to an iPhone, cut out at the peak of the song from a text from someone labeled Dad.
That's our high school sport.
Yeah.
But no, I agree with you. I think that if we can contain number 5, the rest of the team, Royals, didn't look like they had much. Didn't have much to do.
No, I don't think so. And with that center back getting injured, if he doesn't play in that game, they're not going to be able to deal with Mason Haynes. But let's focus on the task at hand. I think that is important.
Good point.
They'll probably say something.
The scoreboard things just.
No, it's going to come back to life here.
Will it?
The scoreboard's funky. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, yeah. You got
to open the window.
There's a window, but that's weird.
You got to open the window. You got to throw some eagle feathers. You got to lean out.
Mm-hmm.
You got to speak to it nicely.
I'm curious who's going to start in goal. The teams are huddled right now. Will it be Marshall Wade or will it be Jeff Nelson?
Nelson's a very good keeper, but if it's me, I go with Wade.
I think so, too. I think Nelson is a better keeper technically, but we've seen some mentality issues before, and also he has not played. He's been injured, so he hasn't been with the team, and also he just hasn't been playing soccer full stop, so he is rusty.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, Wade's the guy that got us here.
Yeah, it's tough. It's in high school sports, we're still dealing with human beings. They're not just cattle that you trade and ship and all that kind of stuff. You have to. If somebody brought you here, it would be hard. It wouldn't be a good lesson to not play him, based on the fact that he's done great.
Well, yeah, and even I'm no soccer, tactician, but just he's the guy that got you here. There's a certain mojo. There's a winning way.
Yeah, and it's hard. As a coach, you're not looking for reasons to take the players off. You're looking for reasons to keep people on. So it's kind of like a more positive thing. When you start doing things
there he is. Marshall Wade will get the nod over Jeff Nelson in goal for the Pirates.
And no sun in his eyes. I like that.
No sun in his eyes. This first half, I assume they've won the coin toss. I think they're gambling that come second half, the sun will have dipped below the tree line, or they lost the coin toss. And Tonasket are saying, no, the sun won't dip. And the second big thing is that Ivana Shrestha is starting in place of Felix Kopp-Meigeter. He is at left back. Center backs are the same, Gavin Keenan, Caden Miller. Oscar Kopp-Meigeter is out on the right, of course. The two defensive midfielders for the Pirates are Finn Kennan and Quill Tegenfeld-Foam, and Lewis Thompson plays ahead of them. August Kampmeyer on the left, Nathan Haynes on the right, and up top is Ryland Knott.
Pretty strong team.
It really is. Yeah, it's a really strong. No, there are no holes. There are no holes. There really are no holes.
If somebody goes down injured, you've got 3 or 4 guys that you could plug in any place on this field.
Newcomb's not on the pitch.
I know. Wow. It's hard to believe.
I mean, that's a JT thing. JT will rest a strong player for 10 minutes and then bring him on.
Yeah.
So it will be Tonasket to get us going in the first half. I know we're not on TV, but just for a little bit of visualization, Tonasket in the all-white, kicking right to left, Vashon in the green and gold from left to right. And now it's on the referee to get things going as we are seconds away from the first match in the 2026 1A State Championship. And here we go. The ball is with the captain, Cesar Maldonado, back to the Tonasket center back. Pressure coming from Thompson and Connaught. Tonasket away for now. It's with their left back, Ricardo Virgin Jr.
Oh, boy.
And here comes the press. Kampmeyer's come away with it. Kampmeyer tried the back heel into Connaught. I think he thought Ryland Connaught was a little more narrow. In the end, he probably is thinking, man, I should have shot, because he found himself with the ball at the top of Tonasket's 18-yard box. And now here are the Tigers, or here were the Tigers for a moment. Miller puts in a challenge. Ball bouncing, and so Tegenfeld-Foman nods it into Connaught. Wide for August Kampmeyer, muscling his way ahead of the right-sided fullback. His pass, though, just a little short for Finn Kennan. He has to slide to get there. It eventually finds its way to Mason Hayes. Cobb Migeter on the overlap, just unable to keep it in bounds, and Tonasket will have a throw-in.
Tonasket started off possession. We stole it and could have buried it right there.
I revised my prediction. Too late.
I don't think they're going to keep doing that.
Well, we'll see. They've kept it on the ground for now. Maldonado into the center midfielder of Tonasket. That is Luis Verduzco trying to send it over the top. Keenan with a bit of a dodgy header. He was trying to go back to Wade. Instead, he headed it into the ground. In the end, he deals with his own error and sends it wide for Shrestha, who's unable to keep it in on the far side. Tonasket have a throw-in deep in the Pirate half.
That was not bad.
Throw-in taken short, back to the right side to center back for the Tigers. That is Yuri Kolesnikov. He loses out. Kampmeyer getting the wrong side of one of the Tigers. Ball's with Connaught, who goes back to Gavin Keenan. He'll look to get some calm touches under his belt after that near error. Sends it long into Thompson. He tried the flick on, but Connaught had checked back out of his center forward role. That's a bad clearance, though, by Andres Maldonado, the center back for the Tigers. Thrown for the Pirates, taken quickly by Kampmeyer into Thompson. Bit of a slow start to the season for Lewis Thompson, but he's found some form in recent games. Here he is now, Maldonado on his back. Thompson turns away from one. Puts it in the direction of Kampmeyer.
That's his name. Kolesnikov, there he is. Sent out of bounds for a Vashon throw on the far side. Kampmeyer gets it back from Connaught. Kampmeyer tries to feed it into Ryland Connaught, who has kept it inside the 18-yard box. Maldonado has to clear it. It goes only as far as Kampmeyer, touches it towards the byline, sends it across towards Mason Hayes, who whips the header. That finds the back of the net. Yeah, that is some dastardly defending from Tonasket. How Mason Hayes was wide open inside the 6-yard box. He won't know, but he won't care. 4 minutes in, and Vashon are 1-0 up.
Well, it all started, they actually had the ball in their penalty area, and maybe it was on the player, and he put it right back in the fire. And Kampmeyer beat the player, crossed it from the goal, and headed it in. You can't make that kind of mistake against a quality team. You can't give them multiple chances in front of the goal. And they just did that.
Sorry about that. I think we just had a quick disconnect there. If we did get disconnect, Vashon 1-0 up, courtesy of Mason Haynes. Just 5 minutes into the first round, the round of 16 of the 2026 state tournament. Up against the Tonasket Tigers, Maldonado giving it away to Thompson, trying to feed it into Haynes, who's looking for his second. Goalkeeper's off his line, nearly spilled it into the path of Connaught. It is Ryland Connaught But Ramirez, the goalkeeper, pounces on it and will send it long, looking for Weddle. Beaten to it by Keenan, whose header goes straight up. Maldonado into Finn Kennan. Thompson brings it down and then leaves it for Ivan and Shrestha, starting at left back in place of the injured Felix Kovmigater. Shrestha goes forward into Kampmeyer. And now back into Thompson. Tonasket sitting with 10 of their 11 players behind the ball. Haynes now down the right-hand side, turning away from the fullback and then stepping on it at the byline. Haynes takes it in towards Tegenfeld-Foman just over his head. And a shield attempted by the Tonasket defender. In the end, Kampmeyer able to fight for it and win inside a corner.
You see how predictable we are. I mean, when we get the ball, you can, as a fan, you're looking down going, oh, he's going to do this. Oh, he's going to do this. And this. It's like watching a puzzle that you know the answers to.
With that goal, Mason Haynes now has 13 on the season. As Kampmeyer looks for Kovmigater at the back post, went all the way through without anyone touching it, and it will be a goal kick. Not a bad delivery from Kampmeyer.
Well,
Yeah, this is going to be a long night.
it's going to be a long night for these guys.
Yeah.
Again, we're actually playing very fast. And if you were playing against us, you'd go, gosh, these guys are everywhere. They're just running and moving and everywhere. But from up here, it looks slow.
Goal kick sent long by Ramirez. It was Kampmeyer that assisted that goal, no?
Yep.
That is his 10th on the season. Kampmeyer enters double digits for assists, keeping in mind he played about 5 games in goal.
Right, yeah.
He's second in the team in assists, just one behind Mason Haynes, as Finn Kennan getting physical to win Vashon a throw-in near side, just inside the Tonasket half. Kennan will leave it for Oscar Kovmigater. Down into Thompson, surrounded by 2. Thompson can't keep hold of it. Looks like he's caught an elbow in the face. Referee doesn't seem to care. Play on, says the official. Shrestha wins it back for the Pirates. Thompson's back on his feet. Tegenfeld-Foman, good ball down the line for Kampmeyer, who took it to the byline and then smashed it into the side netting. I think he probably should have looked for Connaught in the middle there, but not the worst idea to take a shot from there. He's looking for the near post.
Well, what'll happen at the next time that happens, the goalkeeper's really going to be on the near post, and then he lays it back.
Haynes flicking it into Connaught. Good first-time touch with his chest. Then he leaves it for Tegenfeld-Foman. Yvonne and Shrestha, far side for the Pirates. Back into Quill Tegenfeld-Foman. He flicked it on for Connaught. He did look to be in an offside position, and the flag is up.
Boy, the structure is on display, isn't it?
He sure is.
I mean, it's the movement. You see the triangles. You see boxes happening with the. And I promise you that the other team doesn't see any of this.
No,
You know,
they don't. They're
the
just
coaches
They're
might see it.
looking at this just like, well, what do we do?
yeah,
Yeah.
where are these guys coming from? And they're just doing routines. We're just doing routes over and over and over again.
This is. If Vashon were to win state, this will go down as one of the great 1A Washington teams.
Oh yeah.
There has it. I'm 19 years old. I've only really been watching 1A soccer for 4 years. So Tony, maybe you're better at commenting on this, but this feels like a really, really special situation we've got going on here.
I've seen teams that are better than we are, but they're usually loaded like with a national team player or an entire ODP program.
Right.
I remember watching a girls' Liberty High School. They won the state championship 4 years in a row because there was a 14-year-old team that won the national championship, and they all went to the same school.
Right.
That was probably the best high school team.
Were they 1A, though?
No, they were.
I was saying 1A.
They won 2 of them at 3A and 2 of them at 2A.
Okay.
That's how good they were.
Yeah.
And they were just the same girls. 4 of them went to the University of Washington.
Right. What about 1A, though?
I've never seen them. I mean, this is the only 1A team I really know about.
Right. Well, here's Connaught looking for the run down the left-hand side of Kampmeyer, who will let that one roll for a throw-in. Got a knock for his troubles, but he'll get the throw-in nevertheless.
He went down like a house of cards.
Yeah.
he kind of crumpled in parts.
Tonasket settling into a 5-back. It is a 4-back, but their right midfielder is being forced wide and back. That's Calvin Sutton having to track back to defend. I think they're trying to play in a 4-back, but it's just not quite coming off.
Yeah. They're going to have to. They're trying to keep players up front, but they're going to have to pull one of those forwards back into the midfield because they're getting killed in the midfield. And I get it. They're behind 1-0, so they want to keep some attack going. But we're just dominating the midfield. They got to bring some numbers in there.
You know what they need? They need Strong Rider Williams.
They do.
They got to get him going. Get him off the bench.
He may be walking to the tent right now to check in. Is that Strong Rider Williams?
I will see when he takes off his bib. With Tegenfeld-Fohlen in midfield. Good first touch to turn away from the pressure and then gets a nudge from behind. And will win Vashon a free kick. That was Kevin Polito that Tegenfeld-Fohlen got the better of. Haynes stepping on it looking to take it quick, but multiple Tonasket players aware of the danger and standing right in front of the ball. And we will have our substitution. Is it Strong Rider Williams? I hope so. He has not quite shown me his number yet. Let me get out the binoculars. It is not. It is Anthony Diaz coming in for the Tigers. So this free kick for Vashon is 7 yards away from the 18-yard box and almost all the way to the right of the 18-yard box. So they put 3 in the wall. I don't think Thompson will try to shoot. Nope, Thompson dinks it, throws it back. That's a great ball into Haynes, who just mistimed his jump, just got under the ball. That deserved a goal. That was a lovely shaped pass by Lewis Thompson.
You're not going to get a better ball swinging in than that one.
I actually think that Mason looked up to see the goalkeeper and kind of turtled his head a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he didn't stick his head. He almost pulled his head back in. I thought he thought he was going to get punched in the head. It was that good of a ball.
That long off the goal kick by Ramirez, looking for Alex Alvarez Alvarado. Caden Miller beats him to it, sends it the way of Haynes, who gets the better of the fullback. Haynes cuts inside with his second, goes down off his third. Referee waits to see if there was any significant advantage. There wasn't. He then blows the whistle and gives Vashon another free kick. He really is something, Mason Haynes.
Yeah. Well, when the good teams come out, you want the good players out there, too. And that's the way it's supposed to work.
So the first one, this is pretty much as far as distance from the goal, the exact same free kick, but it is farther in to the right, and you can see that because Ivan Shrestha's taking this one, the left-footed, dare I say, dead ball specialist.
Yeah.
He's quite good, and I'm shocked here that they're only putting 3 in the wall.
He'll shoot it. The sun is in the goal.
By the way, that's not 10 yards. They are not 10 yards away from the ball. You can see we have football lines. He has gone for goal. He looks for the far post. Just too much height on it, but the angle was there, and the ball was moving.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was a good look.
Yeah.
That wall was not 10 yards away. He should have. I mean, we literally have lines. We have lines to show how far a yard is.
Yeah.
He should have asked for more space.
I think we've got enough data here. I think everyone in the stadium has enough data that they're going to need to make some adjustments. I don't know what they're waiting for.
I don't know. Again, they don't. I'll just tell you. They are not aware of what's going on. They don't understand how we're so open. You know what I mean? Why is every ball coming right to us over and over again? But again, you see the pattern start. One of our players starts it and starts moving, and all of a sudden there are 6 other pieces that are clicking in place. They're not aware of that. They're just watching the ball. So they don't understand the patterns that are happening around them.
Picked up by Tegenfeld-Fohlen. Dispossessed in the midfield by Cesar Maldonado. Now it's with the fullback Virgin. He loses out to Knott. Fires one towards the back post. It's August Kampmeyer, and he dragged it. What a chance to make it 2.
In the 6-yard box, on your right foot. It was the ball was bouncing a little bit, but the truth is, Kampmeyer should have scored that.
He needed it with his left, though. No.
Oh,
no,
man.
right foot was fine.
This is so crazy. So Vashon have made 2 subs. Tonasket might be thinking, oh, okay, 2 of their starters are coming off. Kampmeyer and Thompson have just been replaced by Avery McLean and Isaac Newcomb.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Got tactically more proficient.
Thompson, this is funny. Jamie O'Neill and John Thomas are taking Thompson to the bleachers on the far side. They're taking him away from the bench to talk to him. Let's see, what do they got going on there?
When you're up above the game, you can see things better.
That's a good point. Here's Tegenfeld-Fohlen. On the topic of alum watch, I've seen 2 since we started broadcasting. Teo Eckert and Nick Zuckerman are in the house. We need like the Knicks. We need Celebrity Row.
Well, we got Sergey. Does that count?
He would say it does.
Yeah.
Newcomb trying to pick out Tegan Felt-Foman, who was offside, but the ball never came to him. Cleared eventually by Tonasket. Here's the center forward, Weddle, who passes it to absolutely nobody. Picked up by McLean. Gets the 1-2 from Isaac Newcomb. Avery McLean down the left-hand side. Early cross equally to absolutely nobody. Sent straight up in the air by Maldonado, the center back, and allows Knott to get back into the game. It's picked up by McLean on the far side, and the last touch came off of a Tiger for a Vashon throw.
Yeah, I like it when we start on the outside to find our middle people. The game just opens up like a rose then.
Throw taken long by Keenan, brought down by Newcomb, and fired into the bottom corner by Tegan Felt-Foman. Well, cometh the hour, cometh the men for Vashon. The Pirates' 2 top goal scorers are back at it as Vashon double their lead.
That was a wonderful turning volley. As the ball was dropping to the ground, instead of letting it bounce, he just turned and whipped it right out the post and in. Aim for the far post, untouchable. By the way, he's in the 6-yard box.
Right.
He's shooting volleys inside the 6-yard
box. It really is cometh the hour, cometh the men. Our 2 goal scorers, Haynes and Tegan Felt-Foman, are our 2 top goal scorers, now tied on 13. Our 2 assisters, August Kampmeyer, second on the list at 10, and Newcomb, third on the list, now with 9.
Yeah.
So the big players are showing up for the Pirates, and at the minute, Tonasket have absolutely no answer.
You know, all I can hope is that Royal's not here watching this. Because they're going to be very depressed.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long night.
Well, maybe they're like us. Maybe they're like us, and no matter who we watch, we always say they're terrible.
Okay.
Even if it's, the Spanish national team or whoever. Picked up in midfield by Verduzo for Tonasket. He runs into a wall in the form of McLean, who dishes it wide to Shrestha. Far side at the halfway line. Shrestha 1 touch forward and then back into McLean. Down the line, he wants Newcomb, and we'll find him. Edge of the 18, Newcomb creates some space. Well blocked by the right-sided fullback for the Tigers. It falls to McLean, who finds Kennan. First touch wide for Shrestha, who has time to pick up his head. An angle went in towards the back post. Missed it. We'll find Haynes, who floats one over to Knott. That one stays in. It needed saving by Ramirez at the near post, and it will be cleared away by Verduzco. Cobb-Meigener now battling with Maldonado, who did well to get away from Cobb-Meigener and McLean. He will then try to float one into Weddle. It hit the head of Keenan and will drop into the arms of Marshall Wade for his first touch of the match 17 minutes in.
That front line for Tonasco's got to shake off the inertia. They all started that run way too late. That's not going to get it done, especially when you're only going to get 2 of those chances all night.
I mean, yeah, and front line is generous. They got 1 guy up there.
Yeah.
They got Weddle just sitting up with Gavin Keenan and Hayden Miller. I mean, they'd be better off having no one, really.
It's definitely time for strong Peter Parker.
Here's a good ball. Here's a good ball. Knott.
Corner.
First touch was a bit heavy, and it allowed Andres Maldonado to get back into it. Tony thought it was a goal kick. Referee says, no, sir, Crudo.
No, I thought it was a corner kick.
That's what I meant, yeah.
You know, you can see the same play happening all the time. We start on the left side, goes to our left back. Our player pulls wide to the left. Avery steps in the space. We hit the space. Then we split him behind the back. We do it over and over again. And we do it really well. It's good to see.
Launched long by Ramirez. McLean up to win the header ahead of Maldonado. He's shockingly incredible in the air, McLean. But here is Tonasket, who can look to go forward. Weddle on the ball. Pounced upon by McLean, and Vashon have it again. Haynes showed too much of it to Virgin, the left back. There's just a will to win the ball in midfield for the Pirates, whether it's Tegan Felt-Foman, McLean, Kennan Thompson, whoever you put in there, they're going to be working their butts off to try and get it. And if you're an opposing player, it ends up that you just don't want to be there.
Yeah. Well, we double the ball. Usually you don't double the ball in the midfield because there's just too much space, but we double the ball anywhere in the center midfield, and we win it most of the time.
It's because we're so fast and so athletic. It's okay.
Yeah, we never double.
What do you mean by double the ball?
Like have 2 people collapse upon the ball, and a less athletic team, the player would just pass it away, and then we're in trouble because if you're doubling something, then someone's open.
Yeah, I see. It's very hard to double in the center of the field. We do it all the time.
Long throw in by Keenan, drops it the near post, sent away by the keeper. Keenan gets it again, tries to play it in low. That one doesn't really come off. Here's a Virgin on the ball. Tegan Felt-Foman now rushing across to deflect it out for a Tonasket throw.
Yeah, you usually double along the sidelines. You use the sidelines as a player, and then two players close the player down. That's where you hear coaches yell, double, double, anytime the ball's in the sidelines. You don't hear it in the center of the field, but we do it.
Well, Weddle's coming off for the Tigers, and Ramirez is back on. Didn't have much success at center forward. Owen Weddle. Now Connaught leaves it for McLean. Shoulder drop, and then McLean looks to rifle one. Great effort, good save. Haynes was offside as Tegenfeld-Foman couldn't finish it anyway.
Yeah. Good save.
That was a good save to his left for the keeper, Ivan Ramirez.
Yeah.
He takes the offside free kick quickly. Header won by Kennan. He's brought down from behind. I honestly don't think the referee was looking.
No.
But Vashon will have a throw-in on the near side.
How many different ways can Vashon dice you up?
I mean, I've seen a few. Got a triple substitution coming in for the Pirates. It's August Kampmeyer and Lewis Thompson coming back in, joined by Pierce Fowler. And the three coming off for Vashon are Quill Tegenfeld-Foman, Ryland Connaught, and Mason Haynes. So the two goal scorers for the Pirates taking a break on the bench. And if you are just now joining us, Vashon up 2-0 in the round of 16 of the 2026 state tournament. They are beating Tonasket with 19 and a half minutes to go in the first half. Winner plays Royal tomorrow in the quarterfinals as Tonasket nearly make a mess of it inside their own 18-yard box, just barely cleared away by Kolesnikov. Now here's Fowler, who was leaning back, couldn't control it. Away by Verduzco. Back on the left with McLean. He's been sharp since coming on for Vashon. Forward into Newcomb. Has an assist. Newcomb turns, tries to drive it low. Didn't catch it the way he wanted to, and that one's out for a goal kick.
So they've been in our half of the field once in the first 21 minutes. Is that right?
That's about right.
Maybe twice. Yeah,
Maybe twice.
No, they haven't gotten anything going. It's but Vashon have a history of having their way with their first-round state opponents. Last year it was a 6-1 win against Wapato. The year before, a 6-0 win against Kashmir.
Yeah, well, they're a little stronger team this year than last year.
Wapato and Kashmir have already played. Wapato eliminated. Oh, they played each other, actually. Wapato eliminated by Kashmir, who I watched that first half. Kashmir looked good.
Okay.
Kashmir looked good. They look like what I expected Cascade Leavenworth to look like. However, that's the other side of the bracket. If we play Kashmir, it will be in the final.
Yeah.
Alex Ramirez took his eye off the ball for the Tigers. Or, excuse me, that's not Alex Ramirez. It's Anthony Diaz. The throw will be taken by Cobb Migater near side of the halfway line. He checks it back to Miller, who has had absolutely nothing to do in this game. Miller goes wide for Keenan. Pressure applied by two in white. Keenan splits them into Cobb Migater. Kennan now swings it wide for Kampmeyer, who's over on the right now. Thompson makes a run. Kampmeyer holds it and then tries to flick it into Thompson, who had stopped his run because he was offside. Not on the same page at that moment, those two.
No, that was where a routine breaks down. They didn't work on that. They worked on him making the run first and then Kampmeyer hitting it earlier. Once the play kind of breaks down, you're kind of stuck. You have to restart the play somewhere else. It's very hard to start a routine that's been broken.
So Vashon have made a substitution here. Oscar Cobb Migater's come up. It seems on his own accord. He's gone over to talk to the trainer. Newcomb drops to right back. Tegenfeld-Foman will come in, and he will seemingly swing Fowler over to the left. Header won by Kennan, who's done a lot of the dirty work in this game, as he has all season. Kampmeyer flicks it on to the chest of Tegenfeld-Foman, who's surrounded by two. It's cleared away by Alex Alvarez Alvarado. Picked up on the far side by Shrestha, and he will play it safe and go back to Keenan. Pressure applied by Kevin Polito. Keenan easily finds Shrestha.
See that same play over and over again?
Tegenfeld-Foman through to Thompson. Foot race with the keeper. A foot race that Ramirez will win, but just barely.
Good passing. That was a wonderful split.
Doesn't seem like too bad of a goalkeeper, Ivan Ramirez, just a sophomore. Miller sends it long. He wants Thompson. Gets there ahead of Kolesnikov. Now Tegenfeld-Foman. Strong sliding challenge that brings down Tegenfeld-Foman. Thompson gets away with it and finds the bottom corner from a ridiculous range. Tegenfeld-Foman seems just fine now. And Lewis Thompson buries it in the bottom corner to say 3-0, game, set, and match.
I think Jamie was right. You predicted 3-0, Jamie, so good job.
3-0 now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thompson really has found his shooting boots in the last month. He's up to 9 goals.
Well, that ball, he was dead center of the goal. He picked the corner out. He didn't hit it with a lot of pace, and it was kind of bouncing a little bit.
The keeper wasn't set. The keeper was not set. He did not think, when he saw his player put in a strong challenge on one of our guys, he thought, okay, I can reset. Yeah. Then it's what we were saying. These players in midfield, they're animals. Yeah. They see the ball, they smell the ball, they go for it. Thompson picks it back up, and he's a senior, he's mature, he's a smart player. He looks up, he sees the keeper, and he sees he has space. He says, you know what, I'll just hit it.
We've talked about this a lot throughout the year. When our midfielders get the ball, they're looking to do some damage immediately. They're not going backwards anymore to reset the game. They're just going, we're going to punish you for the mistake you just made. It's wonderful to see.
Ooh. Getting a little lucky is Alvarez Alvarado. It's on the left-hand side with Tonasket. Letting it roll for a throw-in is Isaac Rivera. Throw taken quickly. Header run by Miller into Anthony Diaz. A little bit of confusion inside the Pirates' 18-yard box. Miller comes away with it and sends it wide into Kampmeyer. Into Newcomb. Couldn't quite handle the bounce, and Thompson's beaten to it by Cesar Maldonado. Now, here's his brother Andres Maldonado.
Boy.
Given away at the back stick by Kolesnikov. Fowler. Kampmeyer's offside.
Yes. He was offside by 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah.
He was so excited to be wide open.
I'd be excited to be wide open.
It's funny, he's looking at the lines and saying, are you sure?
Yeah,
sure. The guy was sure. We were sure.
Give or take 25 yards, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So Kolesnikov saved his blushes, and he will send that free kick long. Header won again by Finn Kennan as Thompson tried to flick it over Virgin, who was quick enough to get there and win it with his head. Picked back up in the midfield by Tegenfeld-Foman. Wide now for Kampmeyer. Vashon halfway into the Tonasket half. Kampmeyer with a Travella ball. What a ball into McLean. He's inside the box. Can McLean make it for him? No, he slipped on the ball. He's still fighting for it. Kolesnikov hasn't gotten it clear. Now he has. Newcomb lets it roll for a throw-in. Goes into Kennan, right back to Newcomb. Now here's Caden Miller. He's going to switch it to Shrestha. He's got a lot of space to work down the left-hand side. Closest to him in white is Polito. Shrestha driving, goes down, and wins a free kick. This one 5 yards, or really more like 10 yards ahead of the left corner of the 18-yard box. Now we've got 2 more subs for Vashon, and one of them is Sebi Giller, who actually played state tennis today, losing. Him and Colt Holloway lost to UPrep, and that is Holloway actually coming in as well. So it is Newcomb and Kennan replaced by Giller and Holloway. So the two Pirate tennis duo members who lost today come in for the soccer team.
Okay.
Free kick for the Pirates is just over 10 yards away from the corner of the 18-yard box. So Thompson will swing this in towards the back post. Thompson chips it, looking for Keenan. It finds Holloway, who got his head to it, but just didn't time his jump quite right, got under it, and sent it over for a goal kick.
We had 3 players, just any 3 of them. If he had let it go over, Kampmeyer was right behind
That was the same ball that Thompson played in from the other free kick that nearly found Haynes.
Yeah.
He's got that on lock. That just he doesn't follow through. He just stops his foot under the ball and just pings it right towards the back post.
Yeah, he's dialing it in right now, that's for sure. It's really good to see.
Goal kick sent long by Ramirez. Kampmeyer tried for it, but it was over his head. Diaz back to Virgin. Now Maldonado. Pressure coming from August Kampmeyer. He took one too many touches. Kampmeyer beats Maldonado to it. Goes down. Should have been a free kick. Isn't. And that's some fancy footwork by the center midfielder Verduzco to escape the pressure for the moment. Maldonado heading it into the center forward Polito. One back by the Pirates. McLean into Tegenfeld-Foman. Now here is Thompson. Waiting for an option. Doesn't really have one he likes, and then we'll check it back to Keenan. Wide now, here's Yvonne and Shrestha. We'll go right back to Gavin Keenan. Tonasket committing a few more bodies forward, and Keenan's given it away, but Maldonado has sent it right back into Gavin Keenan's zone, and it falls to Caden Miller. Wide now for Holloway, who moves to right back for the Pirates. He hangs onto it a bit too long, but the challenge from Diaz was an illegal one, and Vashon have a free kick near side of the 50-yard line.
Yeah, they're packing it back a little bit quicker now. They're getting bodies back behind the ball. So we're going to end up doing a little more of this.
Passing around. Keenan took a free kick short, which I'm a bit surprised by. He likes taking free kicks from that range. He goes into Holloway. Tegenfeld-Foman back to Gavin Keenan.
But we have to pull them out just a little bit. And it's 3-0 right now. So
Yeah, we can kind of do what we want.
yeah, we can. There's nothing wrong with this decision to go backwards a little more often.
Here's the center back, Andres Maldonado, trying to feed it forward into Polito. Sent skyward by the other Maldonado. It's Shrestha in contention for it. He goes down. Have Vashon come away with it. They have it. Fowler down the left. He hasn't seen much of the ball since coming on, Pierce Fowler. He goes back to Shrestha. Tegenfeld-Foman's in some safe. Shrestha will pick him out. Swinging it now over to Colt Holloway on the near side, who fed it down the right-hand side. It got blocked, but it falls back to Holloway, who couldn't squeeze it through. And we'll see at the last touch came off of Holloway, and Tonasket up a throw.
Yeah, we're not as sharp right now.
No, it's slowed down just a little bit.
And then we've also taught them that they're going to have to play a little bit quicker. So they're learning too.
It's a tough lesson. They're down 3-0.
It's a tough lesson. Yeah, it's very tough. But look at the speed of play they're doing now.
Yeah. Here's Kampmeyer, right-hand side for Vashon. Faked across and then cuts it back for Tegenfeld-Foman. Checks both shoulders before he gets the ball. Sees the pressure coming from Diaz. Tegenfeld-Foman turns away from it, goes into Miller, took his eye off the ball. But the pressure from Polito was too slow. Miller gets back onto it and squares it to Keenan. He chips it into Tegenfeld-Foman. Oh, no, that is McLean.
Yeah.
Brings it down with his chest expertly. Waits for reinforcements and finds Shrestha down the left. He can burst forward, easily away from one defender. Ivana Shrestha inside the box, cuts it across. He wanted Kampmeyer, blocked only as far as McLean. Shrestha knew he was offside, so he left it. McLean picks it up at the byline, tackled off of it by Kolesnikov, and the last touch came off of McLean for a goal kick.
Good movement. They're really good at starting on the outside and penetrating pass. Looks really dangerous.
Doesn't feel like anything new from a Vashon perspective as the Pirates replace Fowler with Haynes.
Okay, that'll change things a little bit.
Keenan wins the header, but not quite in the direction he wanted. Hoisted forward by Alex Alvarez Alvarado, looking for Rivera. Heavy touch from Shrestha. He's got a couple on his back. Tried the back heel. In the end, it will smack off the arm of Calvin Sutton, the right-sided midfielder for the Tigers, and Vashon have a free kick far side, 20 yards inside their own half.
I really don't understand what's going on with the handball call. I mean, why call that? He couldn't have moved his hand. What's the point? Why stop play? We had possession anyway.
It's so interesting. Handball is kind of just dealer's choice. If that was in the box, I don't think it's a penalty.
Mm-hmm.
But I think because of where it is, they're going to call that free kick.
I get it
just
if it
to
switches
avoid
possession.
Just to avoid argument, because here's the thing. Sutton's not going to say, well, it didn't hit my hand.
Right.
Like, it's not a handball. Well, it hit your hand.
Yeah.
Right. Ball's back with Wade. Pressure coming from Tonasket. Wade plays a bit of a dangerous ball into Tegenfeld-Foman, but he does want to control it and then steer it wide for Shrestha. Tegenfeld-Foman will get it back as he looks to ping it long into Kampmeyer. Didn't quite catch it. I think that one sliced a little bit from Quill Tegenfeld-Foman. Goes out for a throw. And 7 minutes to go in the first half. Vashon up 3-0. Tegenfeld-Foman, Haynes, and Thompson, your goal scorers. Thank you for being with us on KVSH LP 101.9 FM, Voice of Vashon, voiceofvashon.org. If you're asking Royal Art here, I do see some of the players down at the fence line.
Okay.
Sent forward by Verduzco. One by Keenan, now Haynes. Into Tegenfeld-Foman, attacking end of the center circle. Turns away from Polito and leaves it for Miller. Vashon possessing more with their back line now in these last 10 minutes. Miller into McLean. Wide now for the advanced run of Holloway, who tries to dip one into the box. First time. Didn't do a terrible job, but when you lost it like that, it gives a lot of time for the keeper to set themselves. That's just what happened. Ivan Ramirez picks it up and clears it away. But it's picked back up by McLean, who jumped up and tried to flick it into Thompson. Just didn't quite connect, and Vashon will let that one roll out for a throw-in. Holloway takes it quickly into McLean. He's got Tegenfeld-Foman behind him. Instead, he goes wide for Kampmeyer. Easily away from Rivera. Kampmeyer then goes into Tegenfeld-Foman across for Sevi Giller. Hasn't touched much of the ball since coming on. Giller checks his shoulder. Swings it wide for Shrestha. Vashon going east to west inside the Tonasket half the field as Shrestha plays an early cross towards the back post that would have required a lot out of Kampmeyer to keep it.
I think we're being a little impatient right now. We're putting balls in areas that we don't. It's like a lawyer asking a question you don't know the answer to. We're putting balls into places where we don't know what's going to happen there, which is not the way we normally play. I guess it's risk-taking, but...
Header flicked backwards by Tegenfeld-Follman into Holloway. Good first touch to create space. Then he finds Quill Tegenfeld-Follman. Now Giller inside the center circle. Sweet Heat goes wide for Colt Holloway, who got it caught under his foot, but is just able to keep it in. Finds Kampmeyer. Been very involved in this game, as he has been for a lot of games in the last month and a half or so. That pass, though, from Kampmeyer intended for Thompson, going all the way through the goalkeeper Ramirez, who goes long. Tegenfeld-Follman wins the header. Kampmeyer, there he is again. He's won it in the air, tried to pick out McLean. It was Alex Alvarez Alvarado who got there. Keenan picks it back up for the Pirates. Giller leaves it for Shrestha. Little too heavy for the Vashon left back, and it will go out for a Tonasket throw, far side, 10 yards inside the Pirate half. Across to take it is Kolesnikov. Checking it down into Sutton, who controls it poorly. But to be fair, Kolesnikov rifled that throw into his feet.
He did, but...
The ruble to the Deutschmark.
But he should be able to control that one, to be honest.
You are right. Royal look to be leaving right now. They do look depressed.
I would not be happy for them.
Miller goes back to Wade in goal. He swings it for Keenan. Tonasket, to their credit, are providing pressure. Keenan, though, looks to use that pressure to his advantage and tried to go long to Haynes. It's a good step by Kolesnikov, and it's won by the Tigers, given away to Caden Miller. He goes back to Keenan, who tries to send McLean on a run and then pick him out. It's cleared only as far as Giller by Tonasket. Now Mason Haynes, first time he's on the ball since coming back in on the left-hand side, and is dealt with by the combination of Kolesnikov and Polito. He's won it back, though, for Vashon, and can try to feed in Thompson. Won back by Maldonado, and now McLean. Here's Thompson inside the box. His first cross attempt was blocked, and now he's got Sutton on his back. Thompson pushed out of there by Sutton. Will reset with Quill Tegenfeld-Follman. Wide option is Holloway. Tegenfeld-Follman holds on the ball for a moment and then goes wide to Colt Holloway. Down the line for Kampmeyer. Just able to keep it in bounds. August Kampmeyer pressured by two defensively. Still in possession. Tried to turn on the jet and does enough to win Vashon a corner.
You know, I think Avery and Quill are playing fantastic.
Yeah, McLean, since coming on, has been excellent. And Tegenfeld-Follman has been good.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I think they're both excellent, but I know what you mean. I think right now Avery is on another planet as far as... Remember we just watched Royal with Anderson Brown?
Yeah.
Anderson Brown should dream about playing like Avery's playing right now.
Well, I mean, Anderson Brown's going to the University of Washington for soccer, so...
Well, he's a big kid, but, you know, I mean, he's not in the middle of this team.
No.
And if he was, we'd probably see some better play from him, but... Wow, our center midfielders are looking scary.
Left-footed in swinger to come from Shrestha. He drops it at the back post just over the head of Miller. Did Tegenfeld-Follman keep it in? Yes, he did. Knotted down by Kampmeyer. Holloway took a swing at it. It's blocked. And then referee will blow for a handball against the Pirates as we hit towards the halfway whistle. Ramirez sends it long. This will drop for Giller. Tried on the first touch to pick out Haynes. I think maybe tennis still on the mind of Giller. But Haynes does well to keep it in bounds. Turns away from one. Didn't win the 50-50 against the second. Cleared away into the center forward. That's Maldonado. Now it's Polito. Wide for Sutton. Down the line he wanted Maldonado. Blocked away by Shrestha, but as you say, I think that would have been offside. Throw taken quickly by Sutton. Down the line for Cesar Maldonado, and he will win a corner off of Shrestha, who looks to have taken some sort of contact to his right knee. Or, excuse me, his left knee. No, his right knee. Not that it really matters. We'll see if he's all right. The referee's coming over to check on him. He is on his back. Seems to be in some discomfort, and the trainer is being ushered over.
It looks like his right knee.
Yeah. Got some real trouble with his knee. Well, that is the scariest place to injure. But it does look like as though he has cramps, which would be good.
Good.
And now, He's going to be, well, maybe. They're
dragging him off.
Dragging him off the pitch. Yeah.
Well, he's walking.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Newcomb's come in to replace Tressa. So still no Cobb Migator since he went off. Right-footed outswinger is the corner towards Maldonado. That's dealt with by the Pirates. Thompson gets the second ball and clears it out for a Tonasket throw. So hopefully Tressa will be okay, and hopefully Cobb Migator is okay as well. He's been sitting on the bench since he went off. Throw will be taken by Virgin Jr. Checks it down into Alvarez Alvarado. Virgin then into the center midfielder Verdesco, looking for Maldonado. Picked up by Giller, wide for Haynes. He goes on first time. What a ball by Mason Haynes. He picked out Kampmeyer down the right, trying to get away from Virgin, who did very well to recover and send it out for a corner kick. But what a ball by Mason Haynes.
Good serve. Good serve. It's too bad Mason couldn't serve it to Mason. So I think he would have gone through on that one because there was a 5-yard head start.
Yeah. Apologies. I think our mics are cutting out a little bit. It's not Garrett, it's us. We've got our wires are crossed literally at the moment. I think at halftime we'll take some time to straighten those out. In the meantime, Kampmeyer at the byline, finds Tegan Bowman inside the box. He leaves it for McLean. Everyone's still sitting at the back stick for Vashon. Picked up by Haynes, edge of the 18, turns away from one, goes down. That'll be a penalty for the Pirates. He's just too fast.
Yeah, quick.
He's just too fast. And now Vashon from 12 yards out will have a chance to make it 4 before half. And it will be Lewis Thompson to take the penalty, or will it be Mason Haynes?
Mason's going to ask for it.
Yes, it will be Mason Haynes.
But that's what you want when you're the forward. You want to be the one taking these kicks.
Well, Haynes won the penalty. I don't think that's why he is taking the penalty. I imagine it's a coaching decision.
Okay.
Haynes to make it 4. Up against Ramirez. Mason Haynes, stutter step, calmly into the bottom left-hand corner. And the Pirates do now have 4.
Well, I would love to tell you it's a shock and a surprise. And here's the thing. The other team's not bad. Again, they started off playing some possession. They're just not going to play at this level, that's all.
No.
I don't know if anybody in the state's going to play at this level, to be honest.
Well, I don't think Royal's going to play at this level, but I do think Royal's more formidable than these guys.
Yes.
I think so, okay.
I'm confident. I think that's a fair assessment. Well, I did say 4-0 at halftime.
Did you?
But we'll see. I also said 5-1, so that...
What else did you say?
Yeah, so we'll see. Verduzco, referee Shirley, looking to wrap this first half up. Now it's with Alvarez Alvarado. Virgin. Tonasket with the ball inside their own half. Checking to it is Rivera. Alvarez Alvarado beaten to it by Tegenfeld Bowman. Vashon have runners. One of them is Haynes, who's on a hat trick. The defender slips. Haynes cuts away from the second. Oh, he's got a hat trick. A first half skate hat trick for Mason Haynes. And it is 5-0 with not even a half of football played.
Yeah, you saw the body language should have changed a while ago, but now with that goal, it really did. These guys are looking for their bus.
Yeah.
They'd like to head home.
Yeah. They could do it, I guess. They can go in the locker room, come in the back, say, go out the front, get in the bus, and
forget it.
Well, if we get to 8, the game will only be 60 minutes.
Is it the same rules for the
I
state
would
tournament?
assume so.
Oh, I was sort of thinking not.
Well, what? Is someone going to come back from 8-0?
No, but out of respect, you let them play it out.
All right, well, 5-0 at halftime. Vashon leading the Tonasket Tigers. Not too much to talk about, plus I want to fix our wires here. So we're going to send it back to Garrett Dorr, and we will see you for the second half.
Okay.
Welcome back, Voice of Vashon listeners, to Pirate Stadium and the first round of the 2026 1A state tournament. Vashon up 5-0 against the Tonasket Tigers. Vashon normally have their way with their first round opponents, and this year is no different. But what we will see in the second half is the return of Jeff Nelson. So it was as predicted. Nelson will come in the second half, replacing Marshall Wade. I spoke to coaches about this at practice, and I voiced my opinion that I was against it. Not against the appearance of Nelson, but against the idea of splitting halves as goalkeepers. I think no matter who they went with, whether it was Wade or Nelson, they should have selected before this game and committed that person to be their goalkeeper for the entire tournament. However, that is not the case. But we do also have some news from around the grounds. Fort Vancouver have knocked out Connell 2-0 to score over in Wenatchee. So our first quarterfinal game is confirmed, while Luke will take on Fort Vancouver for the right to play in the semifinals, as Connaught and Thompson get us underway in the second half. So a lot of great performances in the first for the Pirates, nonetheless. Mason Haynes with a hat trick, as Colt Holloway's given it away here, and they've got a chance, and it needed a save out of Nelson, who was in the right spot to smack it off of his chest and send it out for a throw-in. Good
He already had to do more than
Wade did in the first half, right. There's good positioning from Jeff Nelson to smother what was maybe the best chance of the night for Tonasket.
I think he saved it with his face.
Yeah, I mean, it was something not in his arms. Oh, here comes the speed of Fowler. He's just too fast for Kolesnikov, but then he did slip, but he's got the ball back down the left-hand side. Man, he's rapid. Kolesnikov comes back. Fowler fakes and tries to turn away, but the defender has managed to regain leverage and clear it only as far as the Vashon left back, Yvonne and Shrestha. Back now to Gavin Keenan. Adrian McLean. Very, very good first half for Vashon McLean. He finds Ryland Connaught. Wide for Isaac Newcomb. Bursts down the right-hand side. Newcomb plays it in low towards Connaught, who flips it up, tried to go for goal. Couldn't quite connect in the way he wanted to, and that will be a goal kick.
You saw that first half volley. He wanted to do it. I think he flicked it up on purpose.
Sent forward by Tonasket. Header won in the air by Colt Holloway. McLean, first time into Connaught. Now Newcomb. Good one-touch football by the Pirates to find Thompson over on the right. He goes back to Holloway. Now Finn Kennan, another very good performance from him, especially in the air. Caden Miller. Wide on the near side. Here's Shrestha. Pressing up is Sutton. Shrestha's away from them, and he's angled a pass into Connaught, who tried to leave it for Fowler. That one was not on the floor and a little bit too weak for Fowler, and it allowed Tonasket to clear it away.
Maybe I'm not appreciating the angle, but it seemed like a strange call from Shrestha. Why not just play it towards goal?
Yeah,
doubling back.
It was a tough one for Connaught to control when it's fired into his feet like that. And Shrestha's gone down again. The good news is that Ivana Shrestha is back on the pitch. He seemed to be in some pain at the end of the first half when he went down with that suspected knee injury. Good header by Kolesnikov, sent back in by McLean. And again, there is the center back for Tonasket, Yuri Kolesnikov. Still no Cobb Miger. He is the other injury concern for Vashon. Connaught leaves it for Fowler, cutting inside at the base of the 18-yard box, the top of the 18-yard box. McLean dishes it back for Kennan. Wide here is Colt Holloway. Pressure coming from Rivera. Holloway finds Newcomb, who goes right back to Colt Holloway. First touch into Thompson. Pressure on his back. Thompson again, back to Holloway. Now here's Newcomb. Again, the pressure comes from Rivera. Newcomb away from it easily. One Isaac getting the better of the other. Newcomb then forces away past another and then goes down in the box. That was a legal challenge from Malzado, but it's still not clear from a Tonasket perspective. Connaught goes wide for Thompson. Not sure what he was trying there, but that one is fired almost to Venus and out for a goal kick.
Ill-advised shot, but hey, we've been passing the ball quite a bit.
Yeah.
Finally, somebody said, let's just shoot it.
Sent long by Ramirez on the goal kick. Kennan wins the header. McLean down the left-hand side. And Fowler, who should have had no chance at keeping that in, almost did keep it in. I mean, it's almost comical the way he runs. It's like Sonic the Hedgehog. You can't see his feet. They're a blur, but it's just so fast. Thompson over the head of one defender, but couldn't actually get around him. Will dealt with by Verduzco, but it's picked back up by the Pirates, as per usual. Cannot check it back for Shrestha. Tonasket just maybe hoping this second half will go by as quickly as possible. However, the most efficient way to do that would be to let the Pirates score another 3. I assume the 8-goal differential mercy rule is in effect in the state tournament. I don't see why it wouldn't. Kennan wide for Newcomb. Down the line, here's Cannot. Actually, I do see why it wouldn't. I have no idea. Since it is a player's last game of the season, even if they're getting demolished, they may want to play the whole game. Here's Avery McLean. Now Keenan. 50-yard line, Keenan finds Shrestha on our near side. Turns away from the pressure of Cesar Maldonado and finds Gavin Keenan once again. Now here's Finn Kennan. Away from Verduzco. Kennan, though, off the mark, intended for McLean, who gets nutmegged by Maldonado, however, in the wrong direction, and the long ball is dealt with by Miller. Brought down by Cannot. Here goes Avery McLean. He's away from Alex Alvarez-Alvarado. Leaves it for Thompson, who tries to go for a goal again. That was a much better effort, but it's blocked by Maldonado. Andres Maldonado tried to find his brother Cesar. Header up in the air by Kennan, and he'll try again. Finn Kennan again battling with Maldonado. This time the Tonasket player gets the better of him. Flicked forward by Isaac Rivera. Off his line is Jeff Nelson, as he loves to do. That clearance, though, wasn't the best. Well dealt with by Kennan, who goes down and stays down until he eventually makes his way back to his feet. The ball's with Newcomb on the far side. Checks it short for Thompson. Just inside the center circle. Thompson across for Gavin Keenan. Wide into Shrestha. Vashon working the Tonasket back line east to west. Shrestha now instead deciding to take matters into his own hands. He's gotten the wrong side of Sutton, hits the turf, and wins a free kick.
Yeah, we're kind of running at him. I think you hit it right on the head. Finn Kennan has had a brilliant game in the center back position. He's won every header, and it's been a not just jump up and head the ball away. He's knocking it right to people's feet.
He really is that bruiser type of central defensive midfielder.
He's done a great job.
He's willing to just sit in front of that back line and essentially play guard.
Yeah, we have a lot of players playing the best I've seen them play this year. I mean, Avery, this is by far the best game I've seen him play. Finn, that's the best game I've seen him play.
I almost wish Haynes hadn't scored a hat trick.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be hard not to.
It's what I always say. You can't argue with a hat trick.
Yeah.
Now here's Shrestha. Left-footed outswinger from the free kick. Tight angle. He goes towards the back post. Header won by Holloway. He was hoping to dip it at the back post. Did Newcomb keep it in? Yes, he did. But Shrestha beaten to it in the air by Sutton, and Vashon will have to settle for a throw near side right by the Tonasket corner flag.
I mean, if you look down at the field right now, we had 5 players outside of the penalty area, and we were winning the balls in the penalty area, which doesn't make any sense because the other team had 11 players in there.
Thrown cleared away by the Tigers, sent up in the air by Verduzco. McLean up in the air. He wanted Cannot, cleared away again by Tonasket. Now here's Shrestha, hacked down by Verduzco, but this time the positioning was better from the Tonasket defender. But he's given it away into McLean in the 18-yard box, who I don't think was ready for it. Dealt with by the Tigers. Here's Alvarez-Alvarado. Couldn't pick out Weddle. But again, it's back with Tonasket. Here is Owen Weddle, who completely scuffed that pass into Newcomb, who couldn't control it. Verduzco over the top, looking for a run that never really came from Alex Alvarez-Alvarado. Shrestha into McLean, now right back to Gavin Keenan. Now Nelson. Very strong with his feet, Jeff Nelson, one of his best attributes as a goalkeeper. He goes across for Miller, cuts away from the pressure of Polito. Nelson again. Pings one. That'll drop for Shrestha, as I say, quite good with his feet. Shrestha away from one challenge, finds McLean. Pressure from behind by Maldonado. McLean sees off that pressure and finds Cannot, who will put Fowler on his bike down the left-hand side. And it's a quick bike at that. Fowler across the face of goal, just ahead of the run of Newcomb. And we'll see if Holloway can keep it in the back post. No, he can't. Out for a throw-in.
That was a beautiful play.
Boy, it's fun to watch Fowler go 0 to 60. That is some acceleration.
Yeah. Well, the ball was great. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, we're splitting the space between their center back and their outside back. We split those people at least 20 times today. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Going to keep... we've got another result. This time on our side of the bracket. Cedar Park Christian have defeated Cascade Christian by a score of 3-2. A close one over at Kingsway Christian High School, but the 6th seed Cedar Park Christian takes it. They will move on to play the winner of University Prep and Kingsway Christian, who started at the same time we did, so we will not have that score until later tonight. Then the only other score we're waiting on other than ours is Meridian against Raymond South Bend. The winner, they also started at the same time as us. The winner there will play Kashmir. So the only other Nisqually team is out. Cascade Christian, same as last year, exit the first round in state. Cedar Park Christian move on. Here's Ryland Cannot now for the Vashon Island Pirates. Tried to dish it wide for Newcomb. Picked up by Virgin for Tonasket. One back in midfield by Vashon. Here's Thompson. Now Newcomb. Back for Colt Holloway. Kennan. Into Keenan. Cross for Shrestha. Finds Cannot. Will flick it wide for Fowler. Up against Sutton. Fowler goes back to McLean. Pushing it all the way wide. Avery McLean then plays it low into the checking run of Kennan. And he goes all the way back to Caden Miller. Vashon, of course, with the score being what it is, have absolutely no problem just possessing without much penetration. Not to say that they haven't had much penetration, but they just won't be as urgent to get there. Kennan then goes wide for Thompson, who again looks to try it from a tight angle. Not as bad as the first one, but wide of the near post and out for a goal kick.
Well, we're moving the ball around very nicely. We're stretching the field. We're playing back to front, side to side. They're chasing the ball, but at least they're keeping themselves in front of the ball.
Couple subs for Vashon. Sorry to cut you off. Holloway and Thompson are out. On come August Kampmeyer and Owen Coley. And Quill Tegenfeld-Foman. And the third who was replaced was Lewis Thompson, Colt Holloway, and Ryland Cannot, the three to come off. So Owen Coley will make his state debut as a Pirate, as did Colt Holloway today. And as did Marshall Wade. Good turn on the left-hand side by Isaac Rivera, but Kampmeyer hangs with him. Looks like August Kampmeyer's come on as a right back, a position he's not totally unfamiliar with playing, but hasn't seen much of this season. Caden Miller, good defense to turn away Rivera. He goes all the way back to Nelson, who fires it low into McLean in midfield. A lesser goalkeeper would not have been able to hit that pass. Keenan into Kennan. Now McLean. Shrestha. Left side. Halfway in between the Pirate byline and the halfway line. Shrestha finds Avery McLean. Tegenfeld-Foman into Owen Coley. First time back to Kennan, who will look to trigger the run of Newcomb down the right-hand side and does so with an expertly placed ball. Newcomb plays it low. He's looking for either Tegenfeld-Foman or Coley. Cleared only as far as Kampmeyer. Leaves it for McLean. Edge of the 18, McLean took a first touch and then tripped on the turf. Sliding challenge, he got the ball, but the referee will give a free kick.
Oh, and he was teeing up. McLean was getting ready.
He dropped his left foot back, and kind of, sometimes you touch the ground before you hit it, and he hit the ground too hard with his left foot, and he just went tumbling.
If anybody's joining us late, thank you for being with us on KVSH LP 101.9 FM, Voice of Vashon, voiceofvashon.org. Pirates up 5-0 against the Tonasket Tigers. Goal scorers Tegenfeld-Foman, Thompson, and Haynes times 3. As Tonasket will look to lift it over the top, dealt with by Miller and then Kennan, who has his headers are approaching 20 at this point.
Yeah.
Now Tegenfeld-Foman has a little bit of space to work with, but we'll calm things down and wait for the overlap to come from Kampmeyer, who he picks out. He'll get it back to Tegenfeld-Foman. Corner of the 18-yard box, wait patiently, and then try to drive into some space, and in the end will win a corner off of Andres Maldonado.
If you're a player and you get the ball outside the penalty area and somebody doesn't put pressure on you, you're supposed to attack the space. You have to do that. But when you enter that area, you just got to be ready to lay it off very quickly.
Another sub coming in for the Pirates. Off comes, is that Isaac Newcomb? I believe it is. And on comes someone making their varsity, no, it's not their varsity debut, is it? Wilder Dodson has come on for the Pirates. It's not his varsity debut, but it is his state debut, so Dodson will replace Newcomb. Vashon really going to the bench here, as they have every right to do so, being up 5-0 with 25 to go. Lifted in by Shrestha, sent up in the air by Alvarez Alvarado. It will take a bounce before anybody gets there. McLean wins it with his header. He'll then flick it on, looking for Tegenfeld Bowman. Here he is, though. Excuse me, that's not McLean, that's Miller. They do look very similar.
They do, out there.
From a distance.
They even have a similar running style.
Mm-hmm. Keenan swinging it to, I think, where he thought Kampmeyer would be. In the end, Kampmeyer has to run about 15 yards back to get there. He goes into Finn Kennan, who at the minute replaced Miller at center back, while Caden Miller pushes up. Wide now, and the first touch of the match for Wilder Dodson, who took a couple half-decent touches but showed too much to the fullback, who clears it away. So Dodson will be over on the right-hand side for the Pirates. Coley's at striker, and Fowler over on the left. So none of the traditional attackers sitting in the front three for Vashon, as I'm sure they are conserving energy for the match tomorrow.
Yeah, I think they're just, this is a good enough lead.
Yep. And here's another example of just that. Sevy Giller will come on to replace Abram McLean. Certainly sees more of the pitch than Coley or Dodson. He's about the same as Fowler, but McLean, of course, especially with this performance, quite an important player. Certainly don't want him going down or being overexerted in a game that is already over.
Well, I, for one, would like to see Finn Holloway get in this game.
Finn Holloway's not here. Finn Holloway is playing in San Diego in the tournament.
Well, that's going to make it hard,
yeah.
Nevertheless.
Mm-hmm. You know what, Jamie? I bet if you went down and asked very nicely, they would let you play.
Uh-oh.
Oh, they've lost it. Here comes Tegenfeld Bowman. A lot of room in the 18-yard box. Plays it across to Owen Coley, who went for it with his left foot, caught it all wrong, cleared only as far as Dodson, who took a first touch and then barged into the center back from behind. Dodson, I coached him in the fall, is not afraid to have a chat to the referee. So I'm sure he will have some choice words about that call, even though that was what they call a stone waller.
Yeah, you change a lot of players on a team. The game looks less fluid. It looks a little more, ragged.
Oh, Coley might be in here. It took some last-second defending. Is that not a pass back? It is.
Uh-oh.
Well, we will have an indirect free kick. Now, he's given it at the point where the pass was played. Is that the rule? Because at that point, there was no foul. Is it not where the keeper picks it up? Because that's where the fouls occurred. So the referee doesn't know the rule, which is weird because that's his only job. But this is better. It's better for us. If it was right, it would be, I think he just didn't want it because the keeper picked it up basically on the goal line. Excuse me, I just whacked my mic. On the goal line. So that would be a bit weird. But an indirect free kick is always weird. So this one's just inside the 18-yard box, over to the left. Keenan stepping up to, quote-unquote, take it. Obviously, somebody has to touch it before anybody else can shoot. They've got a wall of three, and the rest of their players are standing on the goal line. So with that logic, you'd want to send this high into the roof of the net.
Well, what you want to do is you want your players in there. Send one or two players in there.
Keenan plays it short into Coley. You will go for goal, and he wasn't ready for it.
No. That was, everything about that was wrong at every level. I mean, if the other team puts all their players in the goal line, you just put your players in the goal line.
Right.
And then you hit it into that area, and then somebody deflects it into the goal.
Another sub for the Pirates. Shrestha is the latest to be replaced. Holloway comes back in and will play over at left back as we are really now into the B team.
Yes, this is a. I mean, all the players are good, but there is a bit of a drop off.
Well,
on the connection.
I said 5-1. I thought I was going to get my 4-0 at halftime until Haynes scored that fifth goal. So my 4-0 at halftime was wrong. However, I will say my 5-1 is still on because it's been 18 minutes in the second half and neither team has scored.
My 5-0 is still going.
Yeah, your 5-0 is right at the minute. That's a good touch by Giller to get away from Maldonado, again, reiterating the point that even Vashon's bench players are of a very high caliber. Keenan going back to Jeff Nelson, who will ping one in the direction of Wilder Dodson, and that's the first pass he has gotten wrong since coming in as a goalkeeper.
Yeah, if you watch this game now, you're saying there's a difference between what was going on in the first half. The connections aren't there. The ball movement's not fast enough. And the other team can respond to this. Even though we're doing the same routes and patterns, it's just not quick enough. And we still have some quick players, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, Owen Coley's quite the athlete.
Yeah.
Not a lot of debate about this one. Pretty clearly the best basketball player in the school, Coley. Picked up in midfield by the Tigers. On the ball now for Tonasket is someone whose name I have not seen so far. I'm holding the wrong piece of paper. That's not the roster I want. I was holding that one for about 20 minutes. That is Jonathan Pineda for Tonasket. That clearance was missed by Holloway, and Tonasket will have a throw-in on the near side, 30 or so yards in the Pirate half of the field, taken quickly by Sutton. He's looking for Maldonado, who won the header, but allowed Holloway to get back into it. But here is Cesar Maldonado, losing out to Pierce Fowler down the left-hand side, pressured by two. Fowler cuts inside and really does turn on the Jets. Man, he really does get going. Fowler then dishes it wide for August Kampmeyer, who's got Dodson ahead of him. He will find Wilder Dodson, who tried to flick it back into the path of Kampmeyer. Not the worst idea in the world, but a tough one to execute. Another thing about Wilder Dodson is he just straight up refuses to use his left foot for anything other than running. Kennan goes into Giller. Holloway. Oh, not a bad cross. He was looking for Tegenfeld-Foman. The flag went up, but Tegenfeld-Foman never got into the play. Picked up by Pineda. Now Alvarez-Alvarado, pounced upon by Giller. Coley beating Maldonado to it. Now here's Fowler. Back for Holloway, who's got time to pick up his head, and will swing it backwards into Gavin Keenan. Penguin, I actually think he was trying to go from Kampmeyer. That seems to be the way his head was facing. Didn't get it right, but the ball finds its way to Kampmeyer, finds Kennan into Dodson. Now Tegenfeld-Foman. Dodson wants it back. Tegenfeld-Foman didn't quite get the through pass right. Cleared away by Tonasket, only as far as Miller. Wide for August Kampmeyer, who is pressured and dispossessed by Polito. Tegenfeld-Foman will try to win things back for Vashon. Doesn't, but at least forces a bit of a haphazard clearance that Kampmeyer can touch out for a Tonasket throw. Well, if at any point Vashon score another 3 goals, this game will automatically end. However, they don't seem like scoring 3 goals in 20 minutes.
No.
Here's Maldonado on the ball, trying to find Alex Alvarez-Alvarado. It's picked up by Fowler, who tried to angle onto the path of Coley. Not a bad idea, but it's blocked. Tegenfeld-Foman will hold things up and then find the overlapping run of Kampmeyer, who pings one into the box that's swatted at by the keeper Ramirez. A bit of a haphazard technique from the goalkeeper, wow. And it bounces out for a corner kick.
I think he misjudged it. Yeah, I think he was going to go out and catch it.
That's that basketball court.
Yeah,
that's it. He swung that like a badminton racket.
He did. Got his arm full up there, jumped as high as he could. It could have gone right over his head. Yeah. It was really close.
Yeah.
So he did a good job of not looking like a disaster.
Corner will be taken by August Kampmeyer. Miller offered the short option, but Tonasket were aware of it. Kampmeyer will now have to go long. We'll see who he looks for in the box. Keenan deciding not worth going up, and not that it would matter anyway. Kampmeyer sending it out for a goal kick. Poor delivery from him.
This might be a long 18 minutes, fellas.
Yeah.
Yep. Not a whole lot going on. Ramirez sends on. Well, any other topics you guys want to talk about? We don't have, the only other scores we have, we won't get the scores from the other games. But, yeah, Fort Vancouver beat Connell, and Cedar Park Christian beat Cascade Christian. I wasn't expecting them to go far, Cascade Christian.
No, they had a good draw, though, so they could have gone to the next round.
They could have, but Cedar Park Christian are the worst. Here's Fowler, who's got room to run, flicking it into the path of Coley, who will get there. Coley firing it across, looking for Fowler. That was not a bad ball from Coley, just a few inches away from the toe of Fowler.
Yeah, we've had a few of those types of things. This isn't our top tier level, but it's not a bad level. We do some good things.
Well, here's the topic. What do we know about Kingsway? Are they formidable this year?
Kingsway Christian, well, they knocked us out last year, obviously, before we get to that. Fowler replaced by Haynes. We won't know their score until a bit later. They're up against, why am I blanking? Who are they playing? Kingsway Christian are playing right now University Prep, who we drew. Here is Haynes, though, at the byline. We'll get back to Kingsway Christian. Haynes cuts in, looking for his fourth. Got that one wrong. He was leaning back as he hit it. Why did you sub him in? Oh, no, he's fine. He went down, I think, clutching his ankle, somewhat hoping for a penalty.
Let's hope so.
He is still down, but doesn't seem to be, being helped back up to his feet. He's okay. He has had ankle issues this season, though, Mason Haynes. And you wonder...
Yeah, maybe we sit him down.
Maybe sit him down, yeah.
Yeah, he produces in big games at this point.
So Kingsway Christian, we're given the 3 seed despite never getting near top 3 in RPI all throughout the season. So there must have been something that the seeding committee saw about this team that led them to believe they were a top 4 side and deserved hosting a portion of the bracket.
There are good moments by us, but this is a lot more rat ball than we saw in the first half.
Nope, it's slowed down. I think it's a combination of personnel on the field and just a lack of a drive to do anything crazy. That's a good turn by Tegenfeld-Follman, though. Inside the center circle, he goes wide again for Kampmeyer. Not really feeling like playing too many incisive passes. Kampmeyer is, though. He found Miller, who's gotten very far forward. Miller shimmies, tried to find the near top corner, couldn't pick it out, and that's a goal kick.
Has Miller scored this season?
That's a good question. I know he's gotten something. Caden Miller has 3 goals.
Oh, he does.
Caden Miller has 3 goals and no assists.
Wow, that could have been a goal.
That probably should have been a goal.
That should have been a goal.
Yeah, probably should have gone low.
Yeah, just far post, put it in.
Anytime you're 4 feet out.
Yeah.
Goal kick sent long by Ramirez. There's Tegenfeld-Follman to win the header. Drops towards Coley, beaten to it by Verduzco. Pineda brings it down under pressure. That's not the right place to be trying to spin move. Pineda gets away with it, sort of. Picked up by Tegenfeld-Follman halfway in between the 50-yard line and the Tonasket goal. He goes wide for Kampmeyer now. Here's Stevie Giller. Into Holloway. A lot of space for the left back to pick up his head. He finds Newcomb. Good first touch by Isaac Newcomb. Then pings one towards the back stick, finding Owen Coley. And there were a lot of bodies around the ball, and I think one of them was offside, and that's enough to cause the assistant to raise his flag.
Yeah, I think it was the player we're aiming for. There were 2 players coming in behind him. If he had just ignored the ball, could have been a goal.
Well, as said, he is a basketball player, and those types of nuanced decisions are mainly up to the more experienced players.
Yeah.
Miller checks it back to Kampmeyer.
See, when I watch us now, I see us not quite as talented, but doing the same tactical game. You know, everything's there except for that little bit of brilliance you need to score goals.
Well, this guy might have some brilliance. Mason Haynes on the ball gets absolutely destroyed by Pineda, who came flying in from behind. And they will have a couple words to each other. That's poor. That's poor from Pineda. That's frustration. The game's over. It's not a competitive moment. I mean, you didn't even start. You barely played until the game was over.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to wonder. You got to wonder if maybe there were some words that we weren't privy to a few plays earlier. And
well, when Mason went down and was yapping away about being hit, the guy could have been saying to his friends, "Well, I'm going to show him what being hit looks like."
Yeah.
There he is again. Pineda will send it out for a corner kick. That was a good throw by Colt Holloway. He got some distance. In fact, more distance than Keenan often gets with his throws. Of course, Keenan plays every minute of every game for Vashon and Holloway.
Let's talk about Gavin Keenan's season. You know, a little bit you take him for granted just because he's day in, day out so incredibly solid. But what a 4 years he's had, and what a contributor to this Pirate team.
Certainly an excellent center back. I think he was more. I'm not going to say he started the season better than he finished, but it was just he was required more. What was that? Mason Haynes with a terrible corner. But Gavin Keenan was required more in the first half of the season because our midfield and offense hadn't quite clicked yet, so his defensive contributions were more necessary. Now we get into this later portion of the season where we're just looking so good. Other teams can't really get to us as much as they did before, so he hasn't had to do as much. But as you say, a very, very good center back. Here he is, Gavin Keenan, back to Nelson, who has touched the ball a lot more than Marshall Wade in the second half, and I don't think that is a mere coincidence. Here's Wilder Dodson. Good first touch. He's got some pace about him, Dodson. Here he goes down the right-hand side. He's on his right foot, but instead cut in. Bit of a weird choice from somebody who doesn't really like to use their left, and it's dealt with and cleared away by Tonasket.
You know, speaking of Gavin back there, I think a defender is not noticed when they just do their job. And what you noticed Gavin about was these long diagonal serves that he would hit. And when we stopped needing those,
Right.
he just became a rock defender. And it seems like, well, he didn't do as much. But that's not true. He played great.
Here's Polito for Tonasket. Couldn't keep it in on the far side. Substitution for the Pirates. Thompson's back in. Tegenfeld-Foman is out. Throw-in will be for Vashon. Far side, 10 meters inside their own half. Kampmeyer waits for the sub to come in for Tonasket. And honestly, going back to that Haynes tackle, I'm shocked Pineda didn't get booked.
Me too.
Yeah.
But he has been subbed off nevertheless. Velduzko finding the center back for Tonasket. Now here is Isaac Pereira. His name Pereira, that sounds wrong. Rivera, that was close. Holloway. Blocked by Sutton, who is unable to keep it in on the near side, and Vashon have a throw. We are now at the 10-minute mark, only 10 minutes before Vashon officially stamp their place in the quarterfinals of the state tournament. Again, they will play Royal here at Pirate Stadium tomorrow at 4 p.m. And here's Haynes looking to make it 4 goals on the night, or he was until he used it for Newcomb. Good tackle by Maldonado, still not clear. Then it is away by Tonasket. Haynes playing provider. Newcomb unable to put the finishing touch on it as Holloway took his eye off the ball, let it roll under his foot, checking back his Haynes to get there. He drives a low cross in. I think he wanted Newcomb. Cleared only as far as Newcomb goes for it first time. He tried to bend it to that bottom corner, just couldn't wrap his foot around it.
Nice
Quite
shot.
enough. Not a bad effort.
Good composure. They make a mistake to punish him. That was very well taken. I wish he would have got that because he earned it.
Yep.
You know, it's tough decisions sometimes. You're like, oh, should I carry it? It's like, no, the target was there. He almost hit it. I got a feeling that the other team was thinking the second half was the way the game was going to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it didn't, because they're doing a lot more possession. They're moving the ball around. They're having a little bit of stuff.
Well, we've given up that ferocity in our midfield that Oscar was talking about in the first half.
Yes.
Holloway into Newcomb.
Well, we have marquee players, and right now we're taking out marquee players, put a different marquee player in, and that makes a difference.
Yeah.
And look at how
and
that
5
ball
mil makes a difference.
Look at how that ball bounces on the turf. Someone's got to get out there and deal with it because it really is just a carpet on some concrete at this point. It's such an expensive field. That's a good touch from Haynes. It was a tough ball by Holloway. And Haynes has seen a very nice ball down the left to Owen Coley, who fires it into the top right corner. What a finish from Coley.
Great goal.
Wow. That may have been the goal of the season, you guys.
Telling you.
That is so hard to do. Woo! Oh, my gosh. Left-footed across the goalkeeper into the top corner. Ooh. Oh, my gosh. That was unbelievable.
And pace, man.
It was moving. That was unbelievable.
Well, he's used to draining threes. That goal was so good, it might as well be worth 3 points.
That was unbelievable.
What a finish by Owen Coley. And that is actually not his first goal of the season. He now has 2. And that is Mason Haynes' 12th assist. He is now on 25 goal contributions in 2026.
That is so hard to do. Oof. Oh, my gosh. I mean, cross your body while making a diagonal run? Oh.
I thought he was going to go high near post.
I thought he was going to hit the corner flag. There's no way that was going in. That was unbelievable.
Well, 6-0 now. Coley joins Thompson, Tegenfeld-Foman, and 3 Mason Haynes goals tonight. And here is Lewis Thompson, who is actually at center back right now. Holloway. Away from... Wait. Oh, no, I thought it was Strong Arm Williams or whatever his name is. Coley trying to leave it for Giller. Is it Strong Rider?
Strong Rider.
Wait, what's the full name?
Strong Rider Williams.
Strong Rider Williams.
Pineda's coming back in. They haven't brought on Strong Rider. So disappointing. Must not be a very good player.
No. Well, Tonasket did beat a team 8-0 their last game, so they should have a sense of what the other team's feeling.
Yeah, that was Medical Lake, and right now all three of us would start for that team.
Well, Medical Lake has a student body of 27, right? I mean, you were saying it's small.
Haynes fires one in low. That's a good corner. It's gone all the way through. Nobody in green could get onto it. Giller back again for Haynes. 3 goals and an assist tonight for Mason Haynes. Tried to make it 4, ran out of room, and launched it against the side netting.
He's put enough balls across the goal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, he's done all right. He's done all right tonight. Well, Thompson with a very non-center back header. That went in the wrong direction. Seemed to pick things up, touches it back to Nelson, who does what Nelson likes to do, turns away from pressure before distributing it into Holloway, whereas Wade would have just passed that. Just giving people some color on the debate between the two goalkeepers. Now here is August Kampmeyer down the right-hand side. He's got some space to migrate into. Dodson ahead of him. Kampmeyer still holding on to the ball until he is dispossessed by Polito, who can now look to go the other way with significantly less pace as Coley's brought down. He beat Maldonado to the ball. A shocking no call by the referee, who really has had some interesting decisions this evening. Miller beating Pineda to it. He finds Kampmeyer.
How do you not call that? That was a nasty tackle.
Yeah.
Huh.
Kampmeyer.
4 minutes left.
Miller into Newcomb. Flicks it on for Thompson. At this point, I think Pirate players will just be looking to get people goals who don't have a lot of goals. One of them is this man, Colt Holloway. Turned away from one, showed too much to the second, but Newcomb's on top of it. Touches it wide for Haynes. He'll go first time into Giller. Giller will look to run to the back line, turns away from the defender, forced towards the byline. Giller sits the defender down, plays it across. He's looking for Coley. Sets up in the air by the defender, not once but twice. Tonasket still haven't cleared. Giller's on the ball. He finds Haynes just outside of the 18-yard box. Nutmegs one defender, but the other defender was there. That was Kolesnikov.
It's a little bit too far.
Yeah.
I think he brought his leg back like he was going to cross it and then put it between, but didn't have the touch on it. But it was a good idea.
Well, 6-0 may be the final score. Vashon doing what Vashon seems to often do in these first-round state games. But hopefully tomorrow they don't do what they sometimes do in the other state games.
Those days may be done.
Yeah, maybe done, because this year we may go on to win state, and next year we may not get there. As Pineda picks it up for Tonasket, dispossessed by a combination effort between Miller and Thompson. Lewis Thompson shields the pressure of Pineda, goes into Kampmeyer. He flicks it on for Miller, fighting his way around 3 white shirts, Caden Miller, and gets away from all 3 of them, and then decides he wants some more, but ran out of green.
He's been going forward a lot in the second half, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, he likes to, and I think the coaches kind of want him to, but a lot of the times we just kind of need him back there.
Yeah.
So Haynes will come back off. I assume that means his night is done. Pretty much sealed man-of-the-match performance from Haynes on numbers alone, 3 goals and an assist. He is replaced by Ryland Knott.
There were some great performances, though, but I agree with you. There's no question.
No, huge shout-outs to Avery McLean was excellent. Finn Kennan was excellent. Phil Tegenfeldt was excellent. August Kampmeyer was very good. Lewis Thompson was very good. And as seen right there, what a ball by Thompson. Knott is in the box for the Pirates. Knott on his left foot tries to sneak it into the near post. I think it hit the post, and then it was knocked away by the keeper. Picked back up by Newcomb. Edge of the 18. Newcomb will go for goal and find the bottom corner, and it is 7. Woo!
Man. Wowie, zowie.
Excellent finish from Isaac Newcomb. A dart into the bottom left-hand corner to put the... I mean, man, what do you even call that? That is the sugar on the cherry on the icing on the cake.
That's an animated Gavin Keenan high-fiving Nelson and running up to fist bump Newcomb. I like seeing the passion on the 7th goal.
You want to see that from the captain.
Absolutely.
And we are now reaching humiliation territory from a Tonasket point of view, unfortunately for them.
Well, it's hard for us to explain to them that we've actually put our B team out there.
Oh,
Maybe
that's not gonna help.
don't actually explain that to them.
Yeah, and it's not B team is the wrong term. I mean
Our B team, not a B team.
yeah, it's we don't have any players who aren't capable of starting for anybody.
We're just really good like that. So
Yeah. Oh, this is good.
let's hope we win state. Well, this is good.
What?
He's a player for Tonasket has gotten it over on the left. He realized he was in a 1v4 situation, so decided, despite the fact that I'm 35 yards out and all the way at the left-hand touchline, I'm going to go for a goal. And he did keep it down, but it did go wide.
It didn't go over the top.
No,
of
it
the day. Okay. Maybe the coach before the game said, look, nothing over the top today.
Well, if he really didn't want to go over the top, he maybe just shouldn't have shot.
Yeah.
But I think he thought, you know what, if I can score the greatest goal my school has ever seen, it'll make the loss a little less painful. Coley's gotten to the header and tried to flick it on for Dodson. Good awareness from Coley. Dodson won't get there because it lacked the necessary angle, but it was a good try from Owen Coley. Vashon will have a throw on the far side. Dodson checks it down quickly into August Kampmeyer.
Dodson's got a decent amount of speed. I've never seen him in the open field like that.
Yeah, not the slowest. And here he is, Wilder Dodson. He's away from the defender inside the 18-yard box. Dodson went for goal, as he has every right to do so at this point. Got a second option, but wasn't quite ready for it.
That's the game.
And that's full time. Vashon with an easy first game of the state tournament, a 7-0 win at home to Tonasket, who will have to make the long drive back home with nothing on the scoreboard and in the future for this season.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
it's not as if it wasn't expected, but it was a very good performance. And I'm going to say it. I don't know if